It is time now for the Peter Channel New News Report on this Friday afternoon, November 4th, 2016. Good afternoon, everybody. I am Peter Wiggins, and I get new news headlines. And our top three at the 12 noon an hour on this Friday afternoon is President Kelly, a former deputy chief to the staff. The New Jersey Governor Chris Christie headed the courthouse with a legal team on Friday as ex-Christie aides convicted in the George Washington Bridge case. The government delivered the last major snapshot of the economy before Election Day reported on Friday that employers added 161,000 workers in October, a performance that suggests a healthy outlook for the months ahead. In Selma, North Carolina, as he storms the country in the final days of the campaign, Donald Trump has made a notable number of stops in relatively out-of-the-way places like this one, most of which are already guaranteed. Washington, a U.S. service member was killed and two others were critically injured Friday in Georgia when they shot as they approached the Great Training Facility, a U.S. military official said. Istanbul, a car bomb targeted a police station in southeastern Turkey has killed 9 people, including 7 civilians and 2 police officers, according to state an Anadolu news agency. U.S. product safety officials announced a recall affecting 2.8 million Samsung Electronics Company washing machines and another hit to the company's reputation all the way reeling from the much recall of the Galaxy Note 7 phone. Mosul, Iraq, as Iraqi troops waged fierce battles Friday with the ISIS militants in Mosul's eastern neighborhoods, the United Nations warned it believes that the terror group is seizing boys as young as 9 to 5 on its behalf. Migrants wait for entering buses as part of their transfer by French 40 days reception centers across the country during the dismantlement of makeshift camps in a street near Stalingrad metro station in Paris, France on Friday as police clear Paris migrant camp that swelled after Calais closure. A Pakistani court has ordered the mediation of Sharp Gula, the Afghan girl with western green eyes and a famous national giraffe photo in 1984. Investigations are coming from a rural South Carolina where they find a 30-year-old woman chained up like a dog inside a shipping container. Mayor de Blasio has learned several days that New York was among the reported targets for a potential election day terrorist attack. The Washington court record showed that the man accused of shooting 2 Iowa police officers shows a host of family troubles that Clement was being ordered to move from his mother's basement one day before she allegedly ambushed the 2 police officers. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, federal officials looking into how the Penn State handled the child sexual abuse complaints against former assistant football coach Jerry Sandusky hit the university with a record $2.4 million fine Thursday, saying it violated campus crime. Aleppo, a Russian-backed 10-hour ceasefire in the Syrian city of Aleppo fell apart when more rounds struck the passageways. Amman, Jordan. 2 U.S. military trainers died in a shooting incident in Jordan's capital of Amman at the gates of the King Faisal airspace, Jordan officials said. Seoul, more senior citizens in North Korea are being pressured to kill themselves because of intergenerational conflicts and a skyrocketing cost of medicine. Jakarta, up to 200,000 people protested in Jakarta, accusing the city's ethnic and religious minority governor of committing blasphemy against Muslims. Mosul, Iraq. Iraqi forces seized 2 of Mosul's eastern neighborhoods soon after the government troops set foot in the city after more than 2 years of Islamic State control. U.S. intelligence officials say they are preparing for the potential of a Russian cyber meddling in the presidential election and in the days afterward. Washington. A majority of Americans said that they want Republican control of Congress if Hillary Clinton is elected president by a split if Donald Trump wins. Phoenix. Tim Kaine delivered a 30-minute stump speech in Toronto Spanish to a heavily Hispanic audience, and there was the first of a major presidential candidate. Cincinnati, a forensic video analyst were testified that the ex-University of Cincinnati police officer Ray Tensing was not dragged by the vehicle of the man he killed, Sam DeBoss. Looking at some local news and not in property tax bills on the typical home are going up a little over $200 this year. The owner of the average home value of $324,000 will see their taxes go up about $236, meaning a tax bill of $4,093 according to new Director of Assessment Denise Ellis. Selectmen at their meeting on Thursday held the annual tax hearing where they decided to institute a single tax rate for homes and businesses. Our tentative tax rate of $50.37 per $1,000 is assessed. Valuation was that the rate was down from the last year's $15.61. That's going to be values are going to go up according to Ellison, and the most tax bills are going to go up, but they're not going to go as high as they would if the tax rate was going up. Early voting events of the Tuesday's presidential election will end on Friday in area communities, unless otherwise noted. Voting will take place in the city hall, the town hall, in each community. Hartford, Connecticut. Police say woman went in connection with a fatal shooting in the Rhode has been captured in Connecticut. Deputy Chief Barton Foley told the Grant that 26-year-old Teresa Hudson in Springfield, Massachusetts, arrested Thursday as she was walking in a store in Hartford. The U.S. Marshals Bound Fugitive Task Force, which includes a Hartford detective made the arrest. She is scheduled to appear in the Superior Court on Friday for a fugitive from justice charge. Hartford, Connecticut. Police say women went in connection with a fatal shooting in the Rhode has been captured in Connecticut. One of China's wealthiest men has been on a buying spree in Hollywood, snapping cameras and movie production companies. Now, Wang Jian, the chairman of the Beijing-based talent, won the group as acquired another piece of Americana. Dick Clark Productions. Tesla Motors Incorporated got the blessed advisory from Institutional Shareholders Service on Friday for its proposed $2.3 billion acquisition of Solar City Corporation. Active investor Carl Chun has raised his stake in Herbalife Limited to 23.1% as of November, according to a regulatory filing on Thursday. Health insurer Humana reported higher than expected quarterly profit on Friday due to strength in Medicare Advantage business, which sells plans to elderly and people with disabilities. On Friday, a major Washington, Biden has awarded $478 million U.S. Air Force contract to work on an F-15 Eagle passive active warning and survivability system. New York oil prices turned negative on Friday as market futures set the U.S. race for the president's tactics, but just a few short days ago before Election Day. Nashville, New Hampshire. BAE Systems working on a U.S. military project for adaptive radar countermeasures for airborne electronic warfare system and extended. Abuja, Nigeria. 93 military equipment manager and attacking crude export pipeline plan were rogue member for violent interests, a Nigerian newspaper reported. On to Virginia, CACI International won a place in a 5-year contract to continue to provide a variety of services for the U.S. Special Operations Command. Iran once again suggested that moving forward on a plan to build a long-delayed natural gas pipeline to Pakistan for this time to help China. In Turkey, FNSS of Turkey's PT Pindad of Indonesia has been completed a joint design for medium weight tank and started production of a prototype. Okay, looking at the stocks now, up 20 points, 17 points at 79.55.84. SP5 up 6.12 points at 294.78, and Nasdaq up 16.20 points at 5,074.61. On Friday, a major milestone will arrive for the global climate change diplomacy, the so-called Paris Climate Agreement and the International Accord forged last December by countries accused across the world will become a legal reality far sooner than almost anyone. The new Long March 5 rocket launched successfully on Thursday as the rocket could be used to support a Chinese space station and then send an uncrewed mission into Mars. Climate scientists have calculated just how fast human carbon emissions are eaten away at an Arctic Sea ice city in New City, just 70 miles out of a fossil fuel. Power equals 1 square foot of ice melted Arctic ice. If you step outside on November 14th, you might notice that the moon is looking bigger and brighter than usual. Bigger, in fact, than it's been at any point in the last 68 years, said scientists. This weekend, when American clocks turned back there at 6 at 2 a.m. at Eastern Time, the movement being an end that appeared to daylight saving time that marked it up precisely as centuries such that the first search policy went into effect. Los Angeles University of Southern California officials say students have been signifying gas from Tesla and Illinois coronavirus in a number of campus residence halls. The vast amount of damage that smoking can have on your DNA has been revealed in the new study exploding out tobacco smoke cells within the human body. There's perception that children don't kill themselves, but that's not true. New reports shows that for the first time, suicide rates in the U.S. Hillary Clinton's supporter, Cindy and John Rizal Crafton, will wait outside the Heinz Field in Pittsburgh for a Clinton campaign rally this afternoon. New York, the FBI, and NYPD said they are assessing criminally of reports about a possible terror attack in the U.S. For a speech in North Carolina Thursday evening, Donald Trump asked 7 Medal Honor recipients to sit behind them. U.S. fears special role to its cyber attack on Election Day. Peter Challenger's time is 12:09 on this. Friday afternoon, and it's time now for Spot Support. The Kevin Durant versus Russell Westbrook Classic will have to wait as Durant Warriors demolish the Thunder and the Grizzlies Battle Royal count. Chicago Alfonso Hernandez has kept Zach waited a whole 108 years for this, but he said he waited 95 of those years all of his life as a tortured Chicago Cubs fan. Every birthday again, and a Cubs themed cake with a new piece of memorabilia. Peter Challenger's time is now 12:09 on this Friday afternoon, and it's time now for a traffic and transit report. Beep! Let's imitate with subway systems looking good on the commuter rail. Fitchburg train 414 is operated 10-50 minutes late between North Leominster and North Station due to freight train interference and a signal issue. Middlebury train 009 not yet departed substation due to late arrival of the equipment is 5-15 minutes behind schedule. And on the ferries, they are looking good. Highways and byways are New England on this Friday afternoon here. 95 on the southbound side, it is a little slow in the Stamford stretch. 84 eastbound side, it is slow around the Waterbury stretch. Route 7 on the northbound side, backed up towards New Milford. 95 on the southbound side, it's a little slow from 146 to 95 in downtown Providence. 130 on the westbound side, it is backed up New Newport Bridge. 495 on the northbound side, it is backed up around the Milford stretch. 146 on the southbound side, it is backed up just around the Mass Pike in Millbury. 190 on the northbound side, backed up around West Boylston. Southeastern Massachusetts highways are looking good. Route 20 southbound side, also after the Bourne Rotary. 120 southbound side, it is backed up from 95 to Route 24 in Canton, headed towards 20 Randolph. 120 southbound, a little slow around Mass Pike in Weston. 120 on the northbound side, back around Route 3 in Burlington. 120 southbound side, backed up from 28 to 93 out in Reddington. 93 on the northbound side, back around 128. 495 on the northbound side, it is backed up around the Haverhill stretch after 213. Every turnback on the southbound side, it is back around Manchester, New Hampshire. Spalding turnback on the northbound side, it is back around Route 4 in Durham, New Hampshire. And Interstate 89 and southbound side, it is backed up after the Canadian border up in Vermont. Interstate 87 southbound side, little slow after Route 11 up in Champlain, New York, and Ottawa 50 on the southbound side, backed up around 202, headed towards Montreal. Peter Channel News Time is now 12:11 on this Friday afternoon, and it is time now for a weather report. And it is a cloudy and a clear blue day, and a little chilly. For this afternoon, most of the sky about 54 degrees. North about 8 miles of gust today, 23 miles an hour. For tonight, most of the coast about 29 degrees. Northwards about 3 to 5 miles an hour. For Saturday, most of the sky about 52 degrees. Coming westbound 5 to 7 miles in the afternoon. For Saturday, most of the coast about 39 degrees. Westward about 3 to 5 miles an hour. For Sunday, put that sky about 50 degrees. And then northward about 5 to 9 miles an hour. For Sunday night, Podcast about 32 degrees. Monday, sunny most of the coast about 51 to about 34 degrees. For Tuesday, sunny podcast about 39 to about 41 degrees. Wednesday, podcast about 57 degrees. Wednesday night, podcast below about 39 degrees. And for Thursday, mostly sunny skies about 57 degrees. Currently in Norton here, it is partly cloudy overcast, and we have a temperature of 55 degrees with humidity of 60%. And that is going to be it for the Peter Channel News Report on this November 4th, 2016. Good afternoon, evening with a goodbye to you. Then I'll see you at 11 o'clock for a late night report, because there'll be no Peter Channel evening newscast because I'm going to be busy. Have a good afternoon and evening here.